And welcome back, everybody. Yesterday, I released a video on 5 reasons why you should get the Google Pixel 4, because I do think that it's a very cool smartphone. However, as I kept reiterating, it is not perfect, and I can very easily think of 5 reasons why you wouldn't want to get the Google Pixel 4 this time around. So with that said, let's get started. This video is sponsored by Fifine, the makers of one of my favorite microphone kits of all time. Sound like a pro on a budget with their T669 kit. And say goodbye to overspending on audio setups moving forward. Affiliate links in the description. Number 1 is going to be the battery life. Unfortunately, on the smaller Pixel 4, Google for some reason decided to go for what is around the 2800 milliamp hour battery, which is very small, especially for a smartphone that is packing so many things, like a 90Hz screen, super bright display should be noted. You know, things that would consume quite a bit of energy. So considering that they skimped out on giving this a decently sized battery, means that if you are locking it to 90Hz, as I have, because if you are getting a 90Hz phone, you might as well use it at 90Hz all the time, no? It does take a toll on your battery life. It should be said that this phone does last me through most of the day, but at some point, probably towards the end of the day, I end up having to charge this for at least a little bit. Luckily, it has fast charging again, as it has for a while, so that doesn't take all that long, but it still sucks that I have to plug it in at some point before the day is even over. Battery life is not a strong suit here. Reason number 2 is going to be the lack of an ultra-wide lens. That's stupid, because considering that so many smartphones have included ultra-wide lenses on their smartphones, even Apple did it, and they usually don't listen to their customers all that well. Not to mention that Google loves copying things that Apple does, but they tend to copy the things that don't matter so much or the things that we don't love so much, necessarily. Like as soon as Apple got rid of their headphone jack, the moment Google got the opportunity to do it, the Pixel 2 didn't have one, and things like that. When the notch became popular, Google did that to their phones, and on their phones, it looked atrocious. And now, luckily, they've gotten rid of that notch. But my point here is that limiting the user to only having these 2 camera lenses is just very weird, and the reasons that Google has given us don't justify why we don't have that lens. It just doesn't make sense, and it is a loss if you want to take super wide angle photos or videos. It sucks. Reason number 3 is going to be the lack of a fingerprint scanner, or I should say, the lack of a majority of Android apps on the Pixel for some reason don't allow you to use any other kinds of biometrics for the exception of the fingerprint scanner, which means that for things like PayPal, my bank account, literally everywhere, I went from being able to just enter my fingerprint to now having to enter my password manually because none of those apps will allow me to log in by just using the new and improved facial recognition from the Pixel 4, which is unfortunate. If you were going to get rid of the fingerprint scanner, at the very least, make it so that the facial unlock can be used for many different kinds of things, as the fingerprint scanner was able to suffice for all of that. So that is another huge disappointment for me. Not even one under the screen, which is, I don't like that. Reason number 4, no expandable storage. iPhones have never had expandable storage, so we're all used to that by now. However, even though the Pixel also has never had expandable storage, it's mostly a big issue because Google went for very small storage amounts on their devices. There's only an option for the base model having 64 gigs of storage or 128 gigs at the top of the line, and then same thing goes for the XL model, which also doesn't make any sense because Apple has made those changes, Samsung has made those changes, where you get much higher storage options for those phones. And you also don't get unlimited backups with this Pixel 4 anymore, as you used to with previous Pixel devices, which again, it just doesn't help matters here. You're going to end up running out of storage if you use your camera a lot, which is unfortunate. And lastly, reason number 5 is going to be the fact that there is no 4K 60 frames per second on the back of the cameras, and not even a 4K option at all for the front-facing camera, which is another huge omission. So for the back, that means that even though you can still record amazing videos, you don't get 4K at 60 frames per second, which I find to be a bit ridiculous. We've seen that on many different kinds of flagships this year, and I don't understand why Pixel, being the leader when it comes to camera technology, couldn't implement that. That doesn't make sense. And again, for the front-facing camera, it maxes out at 1080p. That also doesn't make sense to me when the iPhone 11 Pro can do 4K on the front-facing camera. That is very disappointing as well. So there you have it. Those are 5 reasons why you might not want to get the Google Pixel 4. Now, as I mentioned earlier, yesterday I did release a video on 5 reasons why you should get the Google Pixel 4 or why you might want it. So I will be making sure to leave links to that video in the description. Now, if you're interested in purchasing the Google Pixel 4, then we will be making sure to leave affiliate links to Amazon in the description. If you use our links to make a purchase, then we do get a small commission that does help us run things a little more smoothly around here. Also, we launched a Patreon recently where for as little as $5 a month, you can join our exclusive Discord, and we would love to chat with you down there and get some feedback. Links below. This has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you all later. Enjoy.